Hey everyone, we're here with Serban Raia, a student of Change course here at Vaddo Folkhogskola in Sweden. Hi Serban.
Hi Lassie.
Serban, I know that you're originally from Romania and then you've been for some years in UK.
Yes.
And now you're in the Swedish educational system.
Yes.
Can you tell me a bit more about all of this journey?
Well, there's a lot to tell. I studied the first 19 years in the classic educational system in Romania, and after that I decided that I would really like to try something new. I was not very excited about the university system in Romania, especially surrounding psychology, so that's why I decided to go to the UK, where they supposedly have one of the best universities in the world. And that's what I knew at the time. So I went for that. And I spent there 5 years studying psychology with Cognitive Neuroscience. I graduated this summer and I was lost. I wasn't sure what I want to do. My career prospect was following maybe the NHS, which is kind of the public hospitalization system in the UK, as an assistant psychologist. But it was very narrow, it was very confining. And somehow I found out from one of your articles about this course in Sweden. And I read the title, Changemaking Toolbox, and then designing for radical change in society, entrepreneurship, project management, and the creativity. And I was like, whew! I contacted the same day, I applied, and I came here.
Okay, let's rewind a bit and go back to UK. So you went to UK hoping that you'll find a different educational system than you'd find in Romania. Can you tell me a bit more about that? What were your expectations?
My expectations were to find this movie-like environment where everything is fun in the campus, and the university system, going to hang out with all these people, and studying in English is going to be really exciting, and the course itself is going to be something mind-blowing.
Okay.
And I think beyond everything, I thought it's going to be very engaging. And I didn't really have a lot of expectations because it was so new.
And it was, or it wasn't engaging?
It was in the beginning.
Okay.
But after a while, I thought that it's not very flexible.
What do you mean it wasn't flexible?
I guess a lot of the coursework and the essays that we did in our schools were very much focused on following some very, very strict guidelines. And the research did not allow for a lot of creativity. From what I felt was that everything was expected to some degree to be in a specific way, and when I tried to make, for example, an essay combining different fields, I would be told that I should stick to the field that I was told to write about. And that depended a lot on the teachers as well, of course. But I think the majority of them were kind of very scientific, in a sense, very scientific.
Talking about the teachers, what was the relationship between teachers and students? Was it engaging? Could you bring up different topics, ideas? How was it?
They had an open door policy. It was very easy to get in contact with them compared to how I've been told from my friends in Romania. They were friendly, you could have a cigarette with them outside, banter, just chill out. That was very nice. And they were very open for suggestions, and overall I think the majority of them were quite friendly. Yeah.
What was your dream back then?
I don't think I had a dream at that point. No, it was just to explore.
To explore?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. And now let's move one step forward. You left UK after you finished college and you moved to Sweden.
Yes.
Where you started an education in changemaking.
Yes.
How is it for you, this experience?
I've learned in these 3 months more than I've learned in 5 years easily in the UK.
Theory or practice?
Both, everything. I've learned about how to do things in an effective way whilst also relying on theory, but striking the balance between theory and practice has been something that we've done a lot here. And that was one of the things. I mean, I could talk on and on, for example, about prototyping, which is solely based on doing and reflecting later on. So
this is something you do in the course?
Yes. That's one of the most basic things in our school, the basic fundamental principles. And learning to work with people and being stuck in the same I say, because we are on the same campus and we live together, we eat together, we study together with most people. And a lot of the things that come up, you cannot avoid them. And that's not something that you usually encounter in a classic educational setting. And I think through that, one of the big things that happens in our course is that we are forced to deal with a lot of things that come up. And that really helps us grow and change. And our course provides us the tools, for example, for emotional cleanup, for understanding our personalities, for understanding coaching, for these tools is all besides the project management and besides the prototyping and all the other types of theory. So in that way, we also change emotionally as individuals.
How do you think this is impacting the world? All this emotional cleanup, reflection, if we would take this into the world and spread it in a way, how would it help? How would it transform the world?
I think the first level would be more grounded and whole individuals.
Okay.
With a bit of wider experience and wider understanding of life and of tools for any purpose they see fit. So I think this course really encourages you and facilitates you to follow any dream that you'd like. And by dream, I mean anything that you'd like to change in the world. So rather than changing something specifically, what it does is it gives you the tools to create any change that you'd like.
So if you would take this into a university setting, what do you think it would happen?
It would confuse people.
Confuse?
Yes.
These people in the university setting, what do you think are their beliefs about the world? What are they?
They like predictability.
Okay. Whereas here, isn't it this way? I think we all like predictability, right?
Yeah, we do, but this course constantly kicks us in the ass not to be comfortable with it.
Okay. Can you tell me, Serban, how do you think your belief systems have changed since you started this education?
I don't know where to start. I really don't know where to start. I guess, where would I start? Honestly.
On an individual level. You used to believe something about the world, about yourself, and then you stopped believing it, and now you believe something else. What would be it?
I thought that I knew a lot more than I do. I thought that things are a lot more complicated than they actually are. One of the things I remember Bjorn saying, for example, was that how you can become a movie maker. You don't need to study, you can get your camera out, you film a couple of things that you love, you share it with your friends, and then you gather feedback. And that's your movie maker. And then you implement that feedback, you do it again, and you do it again, and you keep building that movie. And that's what movie makers do. And the same thing happens in everything. I thought one of my beliefs was that I'm supposed to study for many years a particular subject, like I did with psychology, 5 years, and then start practicing. Whereas now what I started to learn is that first I start practicing and then I learn. I do the minimum basics. This is another thing that I've learned, is that the amount of preparation and structure that you need to start doing something is a lot more loose. It's a lot less than what I used to think. I thought that, again, you need to prepare a lot of things, you need to know, to do all your research and spend months and years on some subject before you can practice it. Again, here, you just get a few ideas, something else. You talk to people and you ask for what they think. I come from a very individualistic background, and I always thought I need to do everything by myself. And here I'm starting to learn to ask people for opinions, to ask people for how would they like to do things, to ask people for guidance, to ask for help, asking for help and creating networks.
Do you think this is something encouraged here in this educational system, or in general in the Nordic educational system?
At least in this school it is very much so, yes. Yes. We are always told to go and ask the community, go and ask whoever is involved, whoever's going to have an impact from what you're doing, ask them what they would like before you start doing that thing. So the classic way that at least I've also grew up with is you do something, you create it, and then you see the impact and whether it works or not. Here, you first go and talk to these people, you see what they would like, and then you build from there. And then in this way you tailor it for somebody, and it shows a bit more care and concern for people, and also it's a bit more likely to succeed as well. Yeah.
So what I'm hearing you say is that instead of thinking that there is a problem out there and you start crafting the solution already, you go out there on the field, you start asking the community to figure out what is happening exactly, what is needed, and then together with the community you're crafting a solution.
Yes, collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
If this course would stop now, what could you do tomorrow? What could you do tomorrow with the tools that you already have?
I will start talking with the different companies, approaching them and seeing what kind of struggles they have. What problems are they facing in their company? Start talking to people around in my community. Wherever I could go anywhere in this world. And then I'll go there and I'll start inspecting the city that I'm in. And I'll go and talk to the people. I'll go and talk to the businesses. I'll talk to everyone. And start collecting information. And then offer my what I can do for free. Ideally, if I could do that. If I need to take a job on the side, I could do that, and then my free time do this kind of research. And then start helping. And then I'm sure something will come up. And I could use particularly project management tools, event design, all these experience design.
With the focus on the community,
yes,
the social
of course.
angle.
Yes, yes.
If you were to give 3 golden nuggets of wisdom from everything that you've learned lately in your educational journey, what would you tell to people?
Oh, this is just off the top of my head. One would be explain yourself less, but express your needs more. another one would be to be bold, and another one would be to have fun.
Thank you, Serban, and see you everyone in our next interview.
See you.